Good morning, Playmakers. I am so glad you are joining us for our final live show of the year. And we get everyone, I mean everyone, involved in this one. But first, the NFL draft was this past weekend, and with all the talk leading up to it, someone was bound to get something right. So what was your guys' I called it moment in this year's draft?
I'll start off. I told the boys last week that Kenny Pickett was going to get picked before Malik Willis, and I was so far correct. Malik Willis got drafted at number 20 to the Steelers. Pickett got drafted at number 20 to the Steelers, and Willis got drafted 86 overall to the Titans. And last night I saw something that said Malik Willis would have made $30 million if he went top 10 as he was projected. Instead, he went 86, and he'll now make around $5 million since he was drafted there. So I thought that was an interesting little fact.
That's great. Okay, I'm going to jump in really fast. I know 2 weeks ago we talked about who we wanted to see in the draft and what this could mean, and I told you guys HBCU coverage would probably be something that I was looking out for. And after a year of having none in the draft, we had 4 HBCU athletes drafted. I'm going to read them off. You got Joshua Williams, Jacoby Durant, James Houston, and Jatari Carter. Out of all these, y'all know I'm a Deion Sanders fan, so being able to watch James Houston get drafted, and there were many more that were able to sign free agent deals. This is a big moment not only for HBCUs, but for the NFL, and I hope this sticks. So that's probably my I called it moment, and let's continue to move forward.
Yeah, so my I called it moment was definitely Devin Lloyd falling in the draft. If you were on the Playmakers live show on Instagram, I called this exactly. Devin Lloyd, all these receivers getting taken, pushing Devin Lloyd back, absolute steal at 27. He wasn't even the first linebacker taken in the draft. He's going to be an absolute dog for the Jaguars. But all these takes were on the money, but there were also some teams that seemed to get everything right, stealing top players and maxing out on their value. But which team was the best and won the draft?
Okay, I'm going to say the Bills. Okay, so Jackson is not on camera, but we kind of talked about this yesterday, and we were talking about the Jets, or he was asking me who I thought won the draft, and I really think it's the Bills because, for one, let me put the playbook on the plane for you. Khair Elam, he is an amazing player coming out of Florida. You can tell he has this energy that is contagious, and I think he's going to have like a Joe Burrow effect for the Bills because he'll be able to bring that energy off the back. James Cook, another running back that we all love this past season for Georgia. They got Khalil Shakir, Terrell Bernard, and we're going to get to our Super Bowl picks too, so I'm going to kind of foreshadow that. I think the Bills had the best draft picks last week. That's just me, though.
I don't want to be like a super fan here, but I do think the Chiefs really came out on top here with some great picks. I also think the Ravens had some great picks. They had got one of the best safeties to appear in the draft in years. They got one of the best centers to appear in the draft in years. And they pick these guys with excellent size, and they deploy them, and they make mayhem on the field for other teams. They cause problems. The Chiefs picked up 2 of the most polished and pro-ready players, Trent McDuffie and George Kalafdis. I mean, they filled their biggest needs while also going to get wide receivers and some offensive players, but they filled their defense. Their defense is stacked with these players who I think could come in there and absolutely just make an immediate impact to the team, and they look pro-ready. Their pre- and post-draft analysis for these guys were absolutely impeccable by all these, reporters saying that they're ready, and they're ready to get in there and start playing. I do want to mention, though, the Vikings. They had the worst draft, but I won't get too into it. Caleb, I'll let you go.
Yeah, the Vikings made some questionable decisions. But no, my team that won the draft is the New York Jets. Sauce Gardner at 4. He was my top corner in the draft. He's going to be an instant impact player. He's a playmaker. Everyone knows he didn't allow a single touchdown in college. Garrett Wilson at 10, my top receiver in the class. Reminds me a lot of Stephon Diggs. He's the best route runner in the class. He's got good size at 6 foot, 190. He's elite catcher as a prospect. He's going to fit nicely with Corey Davis on the outside and Elijah Moore on the inside in the slot. And then also Jermaine Johnson at 26, who was rumored to go at 4. Jermaine Johnson was rumored to go at 4, and he fell all the way to 26 just for the Jets to scoop him up. When the Chiefs traded up, I thought they were taking Jermaine Johnson, and it had me worried as a Broncos fan because Jermaine Johnson's legit. That dude can play. So the Jets got a good one there. And don't forget that Breece Hall, my top running back, a lot of people's top running back in the draft, got drafted by the Jets as well in the second round. He's got 3-down potential. You pair him up with Michael Carter, who's a 3rd-down back, has great receiving upside. You finally allow Carter to really flourish in that role and become that 3rd-down back, and Breece Hall can carry the load on the rest. They drafted 4 new starters in the top 2 rounds. You can't get much better than that, in my opinion. I think the Bills, I agree, had a great draft. Khalil Shakur is a steal. James Cook's great. The Ravens and the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs draft's a little overplayed. I don't know how good it is.
Yeah.
It's
Some
good.
people were
It's
disappointed,
value.
honestly.
It's
As
value.
a Broncos fan, you have to say that.
Listen, they got value in the draft. I will say that, but I don't know if it's the best draft. Obviously, I mean, I picked the Jets, but I would have liked Dax Hill for them or Jermaine Johnson. That's just my opinion.
I think, honestly, we have to give credit to Jackson Reed. I know you mentioned the Playmakers Live
yes.
that we did. And Caleb's kind of like borderline, kind of like throwing his shots out there and saying that he did a good Instagram live draft. But he actually got last place in our competition, and Jackson Reed had the best pick. So I'm going to give a shout out to Jackson only because he's not here. And if he was here, I wouldn't give him credit. So give credit to Jackson Reed. But yeah, great NFL draft, a lot of moments made. It was a great time.
Well, the only reason my draft wasn't good was because the teams picked the wrong players.
Oh.
Is what
Yup.
happened.
That's usually what happens.
And that's exactly what Jackson predicted. He thought all these teams were just going to pick the wrong players, and that's the only reason he won. But props to him, predicted the top 5 perfectly.
Yes.
So that's something that's pretty crazy. But when we come back, we give our new Super Bowl favorite.
Dun, dun, dun.
National champions deserve a clean campus. Don't wait for other Jayhawks to pick up your mess. Keep the University of Kansas clean.
This draft was filled with great picks, as we talked about before. But what team did just enough to put themselves over the top to become the new Super Bowl favorite? Maya, you already mentioned it, so I'm going to let you go first.
Should I sing or should I dance? No. I think it's going to be the Bills. You got Josh Allen that we all saw, the craziest game of the playoffs last year against Patrick Mahomes. It's a shootout anyway, but he always needs a little extra help. You got Stephon Diggs that just got his extension, and he's doing what he does. Let me tell you, money talks. And he's going to show out this season in addition to what he's been doing. And then y'all know I have to have some form of Texas in me. And Von Miller is about to do what we all know he can do. And I know Caleb can definitely agree with me on the power and the leadership that comes with Von Miller adding to a team, being a part of an organization that is looking to win, but actually wants to win as well. And then in addition to all the rookies coming in, this is a team that's going to win the Super Bowl, or at least get a little closer than what they did last year. But yeah, the Bills is my pick.
Yeah, I got to agree with you. However you want to spin it, Josh Allen's a top 3 quarterback in the league. He's top 2 for me. Stephon Diggs, Jameson Crowder, Gabe Davis, Dawson Knox, and now James Cook on this offense, who is the best receiving back in the class for me, automatically provides matchup nightmares for linebackers.
For sure.
And you add on to last year's best statistical defense, led by safety duo Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde. They signed Von Miller, as Maya said. Cornerback Tre'Davious White was an all-pro. He's coming back. Drafted Kyer Elam. He's a stud. He's going to make an impact right away. This Bills team is looking dangerous. And I don't want to trash on Chiefs fans too much, but the Chiefs won this game in overtime, and the Bills only got better, and the Chiefs questionably maybe got worse. So
for sure.
Let's just hold back on the Chiefs. Hopefully Lily doesn't pick the Chiefs.
No, I can slightly agree with that. I didn't realize we were all going to pick the Bills here. I'm going to pick the Bills too. I think that they are going to win over the Bucs. Like they all said, Josh Allen adding Von Miller is only going to help them stay on top of the AFC East. I think they've added some significant players in the free agency as well, and they had a great draft. So I see them just absolutely finishing on top of this division again. I really like the skill that they have. Josh Allen, again, the connection with this team. I'm really excited for them to get out there and see what they can do this season. But they're looking pretty lethal right now. And I know I am a big Chiefs fan, and I want to stay optimistic, but the Bills are coming back hot this season. After they lost to us, I think that they're ready for redemption, let's say the least.
Yeah, it's crazy when a team as good as the Bills can get as better, can add that much to their roster. You got All-Pro Von Miller, just add him to the roster. Jamison Crowder, one of the best slot receivers in the league, just add him. Draft one of the best receiving backs in the class. It's crazy. It's crazy what the Bills did this offseason, and it's really unfair for all the other teams.
They made some moves.
Yeah. They have like a big three. You got to have a vet. You got to have new rookies, and you have that in-between person, which you got Josh Allen, Von Miller / Stephon Diggs. We can kind of put him on the border, vet and new, in between. And then you got this rookie class. There's really nothing you can't do when you have this perfect three other than build the chemistry, and that's the only thing that probably will hold them back if they're not able to immediately make an impact together on the field.
And I like you said, Maya, the range of players that they have, this new draft class, and then they got some, not like necessarily older guys, but guys who have experience in the league. And I like how they're going to put them all together and integrate them together to see what they're going to do. I mean, some guys might go under some wings as a starter, and I think their bench is going to be good too. You got depth on that bench who, injuries, you never know with injuries throughout the season. They have depth on the bench to help them throughout the season with that kind of stuff that you never know of.
Yeah,
this is going to help my fantasy team.
That's true too.
The backups that you mentioned, like Greg Rousseau backing up Von Miller, AJ Espinosa backing up Von Miller. Even in the wide receiver room, Khalil Shakir, rookie, backing up Jamison Crowder, Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis. Gabe Davis might be the best receiver of all time. Last time we saw him, he had 4 touchdowns in the playoff game, so who knows what's going to happen there. But the Super Bowl isn't for months, but the NBA champion is actually going to be crowned before we know it. The second round is started. Some teams have already played 2 games, but it is never too late to get a prediction in. So what are your guys' second round predictions? Started off Suns versus Mavericks. The Suns currently lead the series 1-0.
This is easy. This is going to be Suns in 5. I'm going to give the Mavs just 1. I like the matchup with Luka and Devin kind of going back and forth with their points, doing all this crazy stuff. But when it comes down to it, we know the Mavs not going to advance. Let's just go ahead and mark that up. Suns in 5. Maybe Suns in 6 if I'm feeling generous, but easily Suns in 5.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree here. I'm going to say Suns in 6. I'm feeling a little generous with, Luka. He's not going to go down without a fight. He's going to put some blood, sweat, and tears on that court when it comes into this matchup, but definitely Suns in 6.
Yeah, you saw it last game. Luka put up 45, and it still didn't matter. The Suns still won that game. I think Devin Booker back and healthy is dangerous. Chris Paul's playing unreal. DeAndre Ayton is dominant against this small ball lineup that they put out with Maxi Kleber at the center position. Even if Luka averages 50, I think the Suns could still win in 5. Warriors-Grizzlies. This game just happened last night. It's been a super exciting series. It's currently tied 1-1. What do you guys think?
Oh, dude, this was a little more difficult. I am going to have to go Warriors in 6. As much as I love Ja Morant, I love that man. The pool party is not ending yet. The sun is out, and it is almost summer, and this man is out here to play with that duo. I mean, I don't know what Draymond Green's doing right now. He left the game with, stitches last night or something. I don't know.
Oh, my gosh.
Whatever. I accidentally fell. I don't know. Anyways, Warriors in 6 here.
See, I'm going to give y'all a little history because y'all know I'm a basketball buff. But this series in the last 2 years kind of reminds me of the Bulls and Detroit Pistons back and forth because it's super aggressive. It's physical. Everyone wants it as bad because you don't want to tally it up and have the Grizzlies be able to go back-to-back years beating the Warriors. Even though last year I think it was the 3-game series play-in versus now actually being able to play that 7-game series. But there's a lot on the line. We saw Steph and Ja in the first game kind of being friendly but not friendly enough. And, of course, we love the fathers of the game with Ja Morant's dad and Dale Curry on the sidelines talking, chopping it up. But this game is going to probably go into 7. It just has to. It's the love of the game, and it's finally giving us the energy we've been wanting in the last 3 years. And that's the Warriors effect, so yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned the Warriors effect. Honestly, I think the Warriors could win the next 4 games. I think this game could be done in 5. I think this game might be done in 6. The Warriors are just that championship DNA team. Memphis is this young team, makes mistakes. We saw it last night. We're not going to see it again. Steph struggled from 3. Clay struggled from 3. Wiggins struggled. Jordan Poole struggled from 3. That's not going to happen. You cannot count on that happening again. I think the Warriors can bring this all together. Draymond can bring this all together like the true glue guy, best glue guy of all time that he is, and he can really push this team over the top and push them over this young Memphis team. I'm excited to see what this young Memphis team can do, but it's just not their time yet, in my opinion. But next up, we're moving over to the East. The Heat versus the 76ers. The Heat currently lead this series 1-0. What do you guys think?
When was the last time James Harden made it to like the actual division semifinals or even a championship? Out of all years, I think this is the closest he could probably get with James Harden and with Joel Embiid. They have a good, like, somewhat matchup, but it's too early. James Harden just joined this team. I can't see them being an actual playoff real contender. I think give them another year. Let James Harden do what James Harden does. Either he makes it work or he doesn't. But the Heat have a real chip on their shoulder. You got six man of the year. You got Jimmy Butler, who is coming for it all because his bubble performance was great. But y'all really tried to make it seem like Jimmy didn't know what he was talking about. But here he is now, Tyler Hero. Next round is going to actually be tough for them. But this round, I think this is a little cakewalk. So I'm going to say Heat in, I'll say 5. I'm
going to agree with Maya here. I think that, that 76ers team, they don't have the connection yet to take them that far. I mean, they've had a great season. They made it this far already. But I'd like to see what they can do more later, in the coming years as their connection gets better. But Miami is hot right now, and they've been hot for half the season, or not first half of the season, obviously. But, a season halfway point, they just turn something on. They turn the Jets on. Like Maya said, you got your 6th man of the year coming off the bench, making an immediate impact on the court. I like the Heat in 6 here.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you guys. Without Joel Embiid, it's just too tough for the 76ers. James Harden looks like a shell of his former MVP self. They're completely swallowing him up in that Miami Heat defense that is rumored to be the best. Jimmy Butler's just locking him up. Tyler Hero's getting buckets. Bam is dominating DeAndre Jordan, who I don't even know why he's playing. He's pretty old at this point, and Doc Rivers said he doesn't care what other people think. They're just going to keep playing him. Whatever. I have my thoughts on Doc Rivers, but that's a whole different thing. Moving on to the next series, Celtics versus Bucks. Series is currently tied 1-1. Sadly, we don't have Jackson on here to talk about it. I'm sure he would talk about it for 10 minutes on why the Bucks are going to win the next 4 games. But
I know.
Okay, I'll be Jackson today.
I know he's going to
go
scream at me. The door's open. I know he's going to scream at me when I say this. Celtics in 7. Okay? Here's why. Boston allowed the fewest points in the NBA on direct drives and allowed the lowest paint field goal percentage in the league. The Celtics have multiple defenders capable of matching up with Giannis, including Robert Williams, Grant Williams, who held Giannis 1 for 7 for shooting on matchups in the half court during the season. And then you have Al Horford, who has guarded Giannis on shot attempts more frequently than any defender in the league. They held him just to 11 for 27 last night in a devastating loss, 109-86. Everyone on the Celtics team could not have played worse during that first game. They played horrible. They looked, I don't even know. It was horrific. I don't suspect them to play like that again. We saw them come out and get that redemption in Game 2 last night, and they absolutely dominated. I think that they can hold Giannis. If they can defend him like they did last night, the Bucks don't stand a chance. I mean, Boston is minus 200 right now for their odds to come out of this series, with the Bucks at plus 170.
I think right now Jackson Reed would say, but you have Giannis on your team. Everybody can beat Giannis.
Who else you
got?
got?
What are we doing? I'm not going to get my pick. Caleb, you roll it.
Okay.
Before I get my roll pick. But yeah, I had
so
to be Jackson Reed for a quick second.
I'm gonna
because they
have
have
to-
Giannis.
I'm going to have to disagree. I'm going to have to say Bucks. I think Bucks is 7. Giannis is just so good. And Grant Williams and Al Horford have been shooting lights out. You can't count on that for a whole series. And Chris Middleton is out, but I don't think it's going to matter. Chris Middleton will come back if it goes late. And with Chris Middleton, I don't think these teams are very close, honestly. I think the Bucks are going to dominate. Giannis is the best player in basketball. He might be top 5, as I mentioned last week, after he wins this championship. But no, I'm gonna have to go to the Bucks in 7. I'm excited to see what Maya says.
Okay, so yesterday I was talking to Jackson. A little quick story time. I promise I won't be long. So Jackson was like, oh my God, the Celtics are so bad. Like, Jaylen Brown is one of the worst players. He's such a scrub. We should call Grayson Allen. And I know I forgot to tell y'all to roll the clip. So I'll roll the clip myself, okay? Everyone's watching. You see it. You see it. Uh-oh, Grayson. Come on. Jaylen Brown is a scrub. Let me tell you, you talk a lot. Jaylen Brown's going to show up. 30 points in 38 minutes. Jason Tatum did what he had to do. Y'all know Deuce was on the sideline. I'm going Celtics in 7, but I do think Giannis is a great player. But you do need Chris Middleton in order to bring this whole entire team together, and Celtics are going to show up. But Jackson, I did give you credit at the beginning. I knew what I was doing. I was setting you up. But yes, that's my take. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, that was pretty electric. But when we come back, we get everybody on camera.
From your first day walking up the hill to your last walking through the Campanile, we've got you covered. SAN connects you to everything KU. Opportunities on and off campus, KU traditions throughout the year, your Jayhawk classmates, and more than 350,000 alumni around the world. SAN is free for all students, so what are you waiting for? Sign up today.
In the final segment of the year, it only felt right to involve everybody that has made this show so great, the behind-the-scenes crew. They punch all the graphics you are seeing now, turn up all the mics you can hear us on, scroll the teleprompter I am currently reading from, operate the cameras we are all looking at, and just about anything else you can think of. Today, we hear what they think with our cast Q&A. Maya, I'm going to let you start it off asking our audio coordinators, Sydney, Clark, anything you want.
Okay, because Caleb was so suspenseful that I have to do this correctly. So Sydney, I hope you're ready. The question is going to be, if you could compare yourself to any athlete, who would it be and why?
Oh, okay, I got a good one. I'm gonna go with Mitch Lightfoot. Don't laugh at me. He's been here for 6 years. He's in it for the right reasons. He just loves the game and always has a smile on his face and always just has so much passion for what he does. And he's a Jayhawk till the day he dies, and that's pretty much me. So I'm gonna go with Mitch Lightfoot for sure.
Oh, that's a great answer, honestly. I can probably agree with you that fits you.
All right, my turn. Claire Decatur, our camera operator and social media manager, who is your favorite current athlete?
Ooh, okay. I'm going to have to stick with KU and say Ochai Agbaji. I mean, obviously, he's All-American Athlete of the Year, so, I mean, we got to love him, and I think he really just brings a lot to our team, and we're going to miss him next year.
All right, Lily.
All right.
Ask our floor director, Gabe G. Shiesty Daniel, anything you want.
Gabe, who is your favorite hockey player of all time and why?
Ooh. If we're talking NHL, I'd probably have to go with TJ Oshie. I mean, the biggest reason why I'm number 74 and just one of the biggest reasons why I'm such a big Blues fan.
Okay, one more. Who do you think is going to be the matchup in the Stanley Cup Finals this year?
Colorado and Florida.
Oh, yeah. That's the answer I like to hear. Let's go Avs. Thanks, Gabe.
All right, back to you, Maya. Go ahead and ask away to Emily Baldwin, our TD, technical director.
Emily's like my bestie because we went to the same high school. We're from the same town, obviously, because we went to the same high school. So I've known Emily literally since she was a baby. No, I'm just playing. But my question is, if you could bring anything from Texas to Kansas, what would it be?
Okay, so I think I would probably bring In-N-Out, which I know isn't like from Texas, like it didn't start there, but Kansas doesn't have it, and they have Whataburger now, but that just doesn't even compare. In-N-Out is so much better, and I'm gonna like kind of bring your question to the next level. One thing I would not bring from Texas is the weather. So yeah, that's my answer.
I'm with you. I would get the #1 animal style, put some banana peppers on my fries with the milkshake. Just kidding, I'm lactose intolerant. I get lemonade. I was trying to be cute. Nope.
All right, Jackson, even though you're not on camera today, go ahead and ask G. Shiesty another question.
What's up, everybody? Normally I'm on camera. Not today. Don't feel well. But anyway, G. Shiesty, who's got the best set of uniforms in sports?
Well, Jackson, I might be a little bit of bias here, but the University of Kansas Ice Hockey Club. They got the best jerseys, and they actually have them on sale until May 6th.
Go get one.
Little plug there. Finally, the man that makes it all happen, Cal Butcher. Here is my question.
Can we have a video clear?
What is your favorite sport to watch and why?
And your favorite student?
I'd have to go with track and field. There's no better sport than track and field because there's no judgment, there's no replay. It's pretty black and white. You just watch it to see who's the fastest, who throws the farthest, or who jumps the highest.
Great question. Great question. Or great answer. That's not what I would say. Okay. Well, that's all for us. As always, there will be content on the Instagram at Good Morning Playmakers after the show's conclusion. But we cannot thank you enough for sticking with us this semester. It was a joy to entertain you. But without further ado, from our cast to you.
Wait, Caleb, we have to say thank you to you.
Yeah, Caleb.
This is your idea. You came last semester, said you wanted to do this, and when you said 8 a.m., we were all saying no. But we're here, and we've loved every minute of it. So congrats to you for your first semester on Good Morning Playmakers. It's been a joy to work with you, and we can't wait for next semester. Now you can finish. Sorry.
Well, I appreciate everybody that was a part of the cast. It was a rock star cast. Couldn't do it without you guys. But yeah, without further ado, from our cast to you, have a great summer.